What's going on, Inspirators? It's your boy Tony Doyle from TonyDoyleInspires.com. Appreciate you guys popping in the Inspirate channel again today. We got something really special on tap. I'm super excited about sharing this with you, and I hope you guys enjoy this as much as I enjoy bringing it to you. You guys know that here on the Inspirate channel, we first of all, we put out videos every single day, and we strive to keep to bring you things that keep you inspired, keep you motivated, high vibe, all those things. And if you've followed long, you know that here on the channel we have all kinds of different things. I really like moving it around because I like a bunch of different things, and I like to provide a bunch of different things for you so you can see what really works for you and keeping that high vibe, being able to just have that success and satisfaction in your life. So whether you're struggling with stress and anxiety, or you just need help in manifestation, or you have trouble looking around and really finding the silver linings, all those things we try to provide for you here. One of the series that I really like that we started earlier in the year was the series that we are calling In Their Own Words, and where it features a plethora of quotes, so that you're really hearing and getting a flavor of the most prolific foundational writers, speakers, and thought leaders of our time, the people that I feel are super important for you to follow and do your own research on, as I always say. So the idea is to give you a whole bunch of quotes, a bunch of things that they have said right from their own words, and then to go back and check out their other works, Google them, and get further inspiration if those things ring true with you. So we have a really special author on tap today, one of my absolute favorites. And if you guys have followed me long, you definitely have heard this name. You definitely know quotes from this guy already. And with no further ado, I just want to get into it. Today we are talking about Mr. Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard was born in 1905, died in 1972, and he was a profoundly influential teacher and author whose foundational writings continue today to be quoted and used as fodder and thought as we're shifting on to other things. You guys know Neville Goddard. I teach a lot of Neville Goddard philosophy, strategies, processes. Goddard's self-stated mission was to illustrate the teachings of the psychological truth intended in the biblical teachings and restore awareness of meaning to what the ancients intended to tell the world. So that his self-stated mission on the planet, and he definitely did what he could to accomplish that in a fairly short life, honestly. So before we go too much further, if this is something that sounds like it's going to be super interesting to you, and I hope it is, I'm telling you, this guy, when we get into the quotes, if you don't know, and you may have only heard the one or two quotes that float around the internet and memes, but let me tell you right now, once I start listing off these quotes, you're going to see where a lot of your favorite authors and speakers and thought leaders and teachers, where they got their foundation, and you'll see it right off. So if that's something that sounds real great to you, I would certainly appreciate if you would subscribe to our channel. We are growing, and it's all through your appreciation and love, and I definitely love you guys for that. But do subscribe. Hit that little bell symbol as well. Now, what the bell symbol does is it actually YouTube uses that, and that's kind of your opt-in to get notifications every day when we post new videos. And as you guys know, we do post new videos every single day to keep you inspired and motivated and high vibe, and just keep your life on a success level. So do that. I tell you every video, and it is super important. I know for a fact it works. If you hit the thumbs up, okay? If you like this video, please do hit the thumbs up, because unlike some other platforms, YouTube specifically uses the thumbs up to suggest new videos. Okay, so it works with the algorithm. When you put a thumbs up, like-minded folks, so your friends who may not know to subscribe or check out these videos, will be suggested them. So that's a great way to share the knowledge, and I do hope you guys both enjoy and do want to share. As always, the best way to share, if you know somebody specifically who would love this, go ahead and share that out into their inbox, right? And you can message them, just copy the link and send it straight over. You can also post this into groups, into pages that you admin, onto your own personal thing. Please just share. I appreciate every one of you guys sharing out, and can't wait till we get up over the next hurdle on the subscribers list. And we are getting there slowly but surely. We're starting to spread the message of the Inspirate channel. Tony Doyle Inspires, and and I appreciate all your help. So once again, if you don't know me, I am Tony Doyle from Tony Doyle Inspires, and welcome to the Inspirate channel. No further ado, let's get right into it. Neville Goddard, as I said, was born in 1905 in St. Michael, Barbados, in the British West Indies. About 1922, he came to the United States by boat to study drama. Okay, at just the tender age of 17. He was always a very creative person, and definitely a high vibrational, like I said, just a creative mind, very much into drama and song and dance and those type of things. Okay, he came to the United States to study dance. He actually became an actor and a dancer in New York. And while he was touring with one of his dance troupes, or a dance company in England, he developed an interest in metaphysics. Okay, metaphysics is definitely the underpinnings of most New Age philosophy. I've told you guys about my own experience with metaphysics as a young kid, and how that has informed me going forward, and how it made me so receptive to this message when it came back around, after I, had been raised Christian, and then kind of got dissuaded from that and studied world religions, and then actually came back to metaphysics, which I was taught at a real young age. Neville, much the same. He was out in England and happened on a Scotsman there who taught him a few things and lent him a series of books on the power of the mind and other metaphysical things. So when he returned back to New York, Neville was fascinated with those things, okay? And he eventually gave up the entertainment industry to devote his full attention to the study of spiritual and mystical matters. All right, Goddard's intense esoteric interpretations of the Bible deepened after he met this guy named Abdullah. All right, and once again, as always, I do suggest you guys do your own work. But if you guys know anything about the history of Neville, you definitely have heard of Abdullah. Abdullah was an Ethiopian Jewish man, also in New York, who was lecturing on esoteric Christianity and taught Neville Goddard and a young up-and-coming New Age author named Joseph Murphy that you may have heard of. So Abdullah was a big influence on both of them. Neville studied with Abdullah in New York for multiple years, at least 2.5 years, learning Hebrew, the Kabbalah, and the hidden symbolic meanings of Holy Scripture. So this was a real informative time for him. And like I said, he was already naturally charismatic. He was very creative, and now he was, getting all the underpinnings, the solid spiritual things that really resonated with his soul. He was getting those things together, and you'll see that he became actually a great lecturer and teacher himself. Neville did, and he gained notoriety as a gifted spiritualist in the United States. After traveling extensively throughout the U.S., Neville eventually made his home in Los Angeles, where throughout the 50s he gave a series of talks on television and radio, and for many, many years he lectured regularly to capacity audiences at the famed Wilshire Theater in L.A. So he became very prolific. In his early lectures and books, Neville dealt solely with what he called the law, which is the technique of creating one's physical reality through imagination, right? Creative visualization was spawned from this. It is in this portion of his expression that's most closely in accord with the teachings of the New Thought movement, okay? Neville often related how, by the use of imaginal power, he himself was honorably discharged from the U.S. military to continue his lectures during World War II. And this is documented, and he says it was basically all an imaginal act, and he documents how all of that happened. Neville penned over 10 books and has been extremely influential on many great teachers of our time. Okay, many other teachers. Okay, although he himself did not self-identify as a New Age author. All right, many acclaimed teachers such as Dr. Wayne Dyer, Reverend Ike, and of course Joseph Murphy list Neville's philosophies and writings as instrumental to their own. If you guys know my story about Dr. Dyer and meeting up with him and learning from him, but if you guys follow Dr. Dyer much, you know that he actually did at least 2 books almost completely dedicated to the work of Neville. And as Dr. Dyer does, he relates that back to some other authors as well. But really, it was trying to mainstream some of Neville's early teachings. And you'll recognize some of these quotes that we're getting ready to let you know, or let you hear. You'll recognize some of them as seminal in Dr. Dyer's work as well. Okay. So with all that stuff in mind, I wanted to give you a little bit of biography. It's kind of hard to find. Neville is not as well known as some others as far as his biography, and he's seen as quite a mystical type of guy. So it was kind of hard to find all the biography information on him. So I did want to share that with you. And this is going to be the best test right here, though, to, if just take a couple of deep breaths, close your eyes, and listen to some of these quotes and tell me that if they resonate with you or not. And feel free to comment down below what you guys think about Neville Goddard. Or I always tell you, we also have a Facebook group, also with the same name, NSPR8, and you can get on the group, request to be a member over there, and we have discussions about each of these videos, and this should be a great one. Neville Goddard. So let's hear Neville Goddard in his own words. All right, so these are his own quotes, and we'll just go through some of these, and like I said, comment down below those things that resonate with you. We'll start with this. To be conscious of being poor while praying for riches is to be rewarded with that which you are conscious of being, namely poverty. Prayers, to be successful, must be claimed and appropriated. Assume the positive consciousness of the thing desired. Neville Goddard. So you're going to start seeing his philosophies coming through here and how they pair up. And you'll, like I said, you'll definitely recognize where Dr. Dyer got a lot of his stuff. Here's another quote from Neville. Each person is born with an infinite power, against which no earthly force of the slightest significance. No earthly force, right? Neville Goddard. Number 3, another quote. The depth of your own being has ways and means that you, the conscious surface being, know not of. It knows exactly how to do it. Don't ask how it's going to be done. Catch the mood of the wish fulfilled. What would the feeling be like if it were true? Neville Goddard. You catch that wish fulfilled? Sound familiar? Here's another quote. Simply dare to assume you are what you want to be, and you will compel everyone to play their part in your life. Neville Goddard. If you will assume your desire and live there as though it were already true, no power on earth can stop it from becoming a fact. If you judge after appearances, you will continue to be enslaved by the evidence of your senses. Neville Goddard. Sound familiar? Truth depends upon the intensity of your imagination, not upon facts. Truth is not based on facts. Neville Goddard. Life makes no mistakes and always gives man that which man first gives himself. Self-realization, right? Imagination is the beginning of creation. You imagine what you desire, and then you believe it to be true. Every dream could be realized by those self-disciplined enough to simply believe it. Neville Goddard. Hope you guys are getting the flavor of this. I've got several more. I'm going to go ahead and just fire them off, but I hope you guys are really... These aren't the most popular quotes, right? These are underpinning quotes that, you really have to study Neville to have heard some of these, but like I said, you can definitely tell how this informs other New Age authors and definitely thought leaders, especially in the current revitalization of New Age and the shift and the new spirituality that we're going into. So I'm going to fire off several of these quotes in a row. Like I said, let me know what resonates with you down below. Sleep conceals the creative act, while the objective world reveals it. In sleep, man impresses the subconscious with his conception of himself. Always go to the end. Dwell in the end. Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you live. Do not try to change people. They are only messengers telling you who you are. Revalue yourself, and they will confirm the change. Neville Goddard. Love is our birthright. Do not go seeking for that which you already are. I love this stuff. I hope you guys like it too. Capture the feeling associated with your realized wish by assuming the feeling that would be yours were you already in possession of the thing you desire, and your wish will objectify it every single time. Neville Goddard. I am is a feeling of permanent awareness. Neville Goddard. You may recognize that as an underpinning of Eckhart Tolle. Somebody else you may know. You will find that you are not a victim of fate, but instead a victim of your own faith, or lack thereof. Neville Goddard. The world is a mirror. See that mirror? The world is a mirror, forever reflecting what you are doing, not on the outside, but from the inside. Neville Goddard. Predetermine what you want to hear, then quietly listen until you hear it. Don't you waste one moment in regret, for to think feelingly of mistakes of the past is to reinfect your present. Neville Goddard. To one's imagination, all things are possible. Sound familiar? I talk about it all the time, right? Your powers and your passion, possibility, the power of possibility. You rise to a higher level of consciousness by taking your attention away from your present limitations and placing it upon that which you desire to be. Neville Goddard. Sounds like some Abraham teachings I may have heard. What do you guys think? Become aware of what you are thinking, and you will recognize a law between your mood and your surrounding circumstances. One of the first to suggest that feeling is the secret, and that our external reality is only a reflection of our internal chaos or peace, right? The signs always follow. Get this right. They follow, they never precede. Isn't that interesting? And so true. It's not what you want to attract that you attract. It's what you believe to be true. Neville Goddard. The law operates by faith. If you believe, no effort is necessary to see the fulfillment of your every desire. That should sound familiar as well. All right, I'm just going to knock these others out. I could stop and do commentary on every one, but we'd never get through them. So I definitely want you to hear Neville in his own words. He had this to say: the inward act over and over again, keep doing it until it takes on the tone of reality, and it will become real. I know I said I wasn't going to stop, but you'll recognize this one. This was actually probably his most famous quote, thanks to Dr. Dyer. Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and observe the route that your attention follows. You guys know that? Assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, right? Dr. Dyer wrote a whole book about that passage. Believe your prayers are already realized, and they are. Believe they can't ever come true, and they won't. You are already that which you want to be. And your refusal to believe this is the only reason you do not see it yet. Neville Goddard. Feeling is the secret. Begin with self. Everything begins within. Neville Goddard. A couple more I want you guys to check out. Dream better than the best you know. Okay, that makes sense, right? Just break that one phrase down. Dream better than the best you know. The best knowledge, the best experience that we've already had. If we dream bigger and better, he's saying that's the next thing, Literally, that's how you bring a better future than the current one. Dream better than the best you know. He also said this: it is necessary to have an aim in life. Without an aim, mankind drifts. True. Man moves in a world that is nothing more or less than his own consciousness, objectified. Nothing more, nothing less. Neville Goddard. Be careful of your moods and feelings, for there is an unbroken connection between your feelings and your visible world. Neville Goddard. The world and everything in it is you pushed out. Let me say that again. I messed up a little bit. The world and everything in it is you pushed out. Check out this. Check out my page here. I actually have a bunch about you pushed out. That is a concept. Well, it's a phrase that is strictly Neville, but the concept itself, once you learn about that, you will definitely see that in other philosophers as well. But it's super interesting to think about, especially in context with all these other Neville quotes that we're doing. Just two more that I think you guys need to know. And then, like I said, he's got 10 books. He's got lectures. You can actually hear in his own words. Obviously, like I said, Dr. Dyer's done treatments of his things. Joseph Murphy has done things with him. But let me hit you with these last two right here. Determined imagination. Thinking from the end is the beginning of all miracles. Determined imagination and thinking from the end. And finally, from Mr. Neville Goddard, believe that you are what you want to be, and you are it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I present to you Mr. Neville Goddard. Most of his books are published simply under the author as being Neville. A lot of those are self-published. A lot of those are through random spiritual religious houses throughout the 40s, 50s, 60s, and into the 70s. Google him. You can definitely find all kind of things. I am a huge fan of the website called freeneville.com. Check out Mr. 2020 right there. He is a huge authority. I am also a big fan of a YouTuber named Joseph Ally. He has a great sense. If you're a scientific mind or like an engineering mind, you'll appreciate Joseph Ally's breakdown of Neville teachings. And then the third person I would like to point you towards, if Neville is somebody who resonates with you, on YouTube there is a teacher named Dan Radio Style. Dan Radio Style. Check him out. He also has a very unique perspective, and he goes through kind of chapter by chapter of a lot of Neville's books, and it's a great kind of a steady guide. Every video is kind of another chapter. He reads some of the quotes, and then he kind of breaks it down in his own language, and it's very helpful. The time that Neville, was teaching and writing throughout the early, like I said, from, basically from 1925 until 1972, he does use some language, so a little bit is hard to understand. He also, talks a lot in parables like the scripture, and he kind of breaks those things down. So super interesting. I also told you the influences, and sometimes it's easier to hear from the influences. So check out all of Dr. Wayne Dyer's stuff. amazing, amazing. He has a great knack for making the content relatable. Also, Dr. Ike, if you are into a prosperity reading of the Bible, which Neville kind of lays the basis for it, Dr. Ike takes that to another level. So if you're interested in manifesting wealth and riches and money and those type of things, even if you don't want to be a billionaire, but you want to increase more money and change your money mindset, Dr. Ike is a great person to check out. Some of you guys probably already know Dr. Ike. And then Joseph Murphy as well. Joseph Murphy, like I said, is actually pretty much a contemporary of Neville, and based a lot of his work on Neville Goddard and kind of expanded it more into the New Thought as well. So check him out. We may do a video on that. If you guys are interested, let me know down below who you would like me to do a video on, and I would gladly do that. Okay? So this is in their own words, and you have just heard Neville Goddard in his own words. If you guys appreciate this video, please do give me a thumbs up. I told you before how it works with the algorithm here on YouTube. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Get your friends to subscribe. We're really trying to grow this channel. I'm doing my best effort. I'm putting out videos every single day. And I would appreciate if you guys would share that with folks and encourage them to subscribe if they like it as well. So, all right. That's it for tonight. Once again, I'm Tony Doyle from TonyDoyleInspires.com. Thank you so much for tuning into the Inspirate channel again today. And until tomorrow, leaving you with peace and love. All right. Have a good evening.